Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers as it concerns the New York Knicks getting granted permission to interview one of the Lakers' assistant head coaches, and that is Jason Kidd. He is potentially going to have an interview with the New York Knicks for the potential vacancy for the head coaching job for the New York Knicks. And I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about this potential report, and could be a potential interest for a potential hiring for Jason Kidd to be the head coach for the New York Knicks if somehow they agree to the terms for a potential hiring. I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it. Without further ado, let's just get right to it. So, guys, with this report that just came in as it concerns Jason Kidd getting an interview with the New York Knicks, there's a lot of emotions when it comes down to this potential report and how this plays a role for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, before I get into the key parts of my reasoning of, either if this is a good thing or a bad thing for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward with the whole coaching staff, let me be very clear about my reasoning about this. At first, before the season ever started, the 2019 and 2020 season, I actually loved the head coaching staff for the Los Angeles Lakers more than the Los Angeles Lakers roster, to be honest with you, because this was a all-star caliber head coaching staff, if you will. I mean, you have all head coaching staffs on the Los Angeles Lakers who basically have the defensive-minded, coaching methods, and it's just one of the most, the best, really, in my opinion, in all of the NBA, because of how high-profile these head coaching staffs have been implemented in this Lakers coaching staff. You have Frank Vogel, who's the head coach. You have Lionel Hollins, who's the former head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies. Also coached the Brooklyn Nets at one point, and he just has a great resume under his belt for being one of the most influential head coaches in the NBA. So he's on the staff. And then you have Phil Hanley, who is also one of the most best assistant coaches, who could be a potential head coach down the line if he's so much has the mindset of being a head coach in this league someday. And he's one of the best coaching head coaching staff on the on the Los Angeles Lakers. And then you had Jason Kidd, who obviously a former player and coached in this league as well, from coaching the Brooklyn Nets and then the Milwaukee Bucks at one point, and then with his whole situation that he had throughout his coaching career, dealing with domestic situations, he somehow ended up not having a head coaching job for almost 3 years, or maybe 4 years now. So he ended up being in the conversation for being the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers at one point. But then, with, like I said, with the whole controversy that's been surrounding him about his domestic abuse and stuff like that, it kind of put things into perspective that the Lakers were kind of about to choose him, but then they thought, from the safe perspective, they picked Frank Vogel to be the head coach and have him be inserted to be the assistant head coach for Frank Vogel on the Los Angeles Lakers coaching staff. So with this report, from just being a positive, output when it comes to Jason Kidd, he deserves to be a head coach in this league, because with his abilities and his coaching methods, he can obviously improve star players. We saw what he did with the Milwaukee Bucks by coaching the the Greek Freak to the best of his ability during his times there. And, he just has a good record of just improving, potential stars. And, he's just been doing that for almost a couple of years now since he's been, being a coach after being a player for many years. And it kind of shows that, he has the ability of being a head coach again. And, he has the resume to basically prove that. But on being a fan perspective of the Los Angeles Lakers, like I said, I love this head coaching staff, the all-star, if you will, of head coaching staffs, because of how great the Lakers have been playing so far, because of the greatness of the head coaching staffs, because of the defensive minded of what they bring to the table, and at the same time with the relationships and of how connected that the head coaching staffs are to this Los Angeles Lakers team. And guys, there's always been that conversation that if somehow Frank Vogel does not do well with his head coaching, the Los Angeles Lakers, the implication was that Jason Kidd was going to be inserted to the head coaching job for the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's always been that mindset moving forward, always when it comes down to the Los Angeles Lakers, mindset of if somehow they need to replace a head coach down the line. And what better way for them to, somehow if, Frank Vogel loses his job, there's a head coach in the back corner for them to insert in that head coaching job, and that was Jason Kidd at one point. But as of right now, guys, with this whole report, the Los Angeles Lakers has given permission for the New York Knicks to interview Jason Kidd, and there's a lot of emotions about this. I mean, at one point, you can also think about that Jason Kidd has, being a former player, he did play for the New York Knicks at one point, and he had a great career, and he also played alongside Carmelo Anthony at one point. And it's like one of those type of moments where you just have to say that Jason Kidd is in the perfect conversation for this particular head coaching job for the New York Knicks when it's all said and done. But at the same time, if you're like a Lakers fan and like myself, the implication is that I love how the coaching staff is in place, and so far the Lakers are doing pretty well for themselves when it comes down to playing good defensive minded gaming, and also offensively as well. It kind of puts into perspective that should the Lakers somehow not ruin what they already have right now, I mean, it's just that sort of perspective out there, and I kind of honestly don't want it to happen. But at the same time, I'm like, what, Jason Kidd, he has the capabilities and the resume to be a head coach in this league, and I kind of wish him the best of luck. But at the same time, the fan in me is saying, what, remain with the Lakers. You never know about the circumstances with Frank Vogel and the Los Angeles Lakers. You never know. He could potentially somehow, not end up, being the head coaching, the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward. And, he could be a good candidate for the Los Angeles Lakers if somehow friction and the relationship between the two sides somehow doesn't work out. But so far, Frank Vogel's doing a good job, and it kind of puts things into consideration that maybe, the Lakers are going to stick with Frank Vogel, and he has been doing a great job. I mean, let's just not deny it. I mean, he is so far in the conversations for head coaching of the year. I mean, he's in that conversation, and he did coach the All-Star game as well, and not to mention, adding on his coaching staff to that particular All-Star selection. So with all that being said, Jason Kidd, I wish him the best. I mean, honestly, but at the same time, the relationship between Jason Kidd and LeBron James has always been that main factor of, how the Lakers relationship between the coaches and the players have always played a huge role in the Los Angeles Lakers. And, the relationship between Jason Kidd and LeBron James has always been very strong when it comes down to it. And I can honestly say that the making of the head coaching staff has always been very implemented in the decisions for the Lakers and LeBron James. And last season was always been that sort of instance of how the Lakers would be in effect when it comes down to LeBron James' relationship with the Los Angeles Lakers. And Frank Vogel, yeah, he's doing a good job with LeBron James, connecting wise. But at the same time, LeBron James always wanted a player coach who's always has a guy to rely on when it comes to getting advice and somehow just getting his input about what's going on in the game and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to say that he doesn't have that with Frank Vogel. I just only see that in that also with Jason Kidd. And you never know, he could be also getting advice from Lionel Hollins as well, which, by the way, guys, he's also the main guy who's always been a great asset to the Los Angeles Lakers this season as well. So it's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure what to say about this moving forward, but if somehow a deal does happen with the whole hiring process with the New York Knicks and Jason Kidd, I don't think it's the end of the world, because Frank Vogel is doing a good job as of right now with the Los Angeles Lakers, and it still remains to be seen what he will bring to the table when it comes down to the playoffs, when it's all concerning that sort of interest in Frank Vogel. So the playoffs still needs to be in effect when it comes down to it. And we saw experience of how Jason Kidd, when it came down to him coaching in the playoffs. So it kind of shows that he can coach in the playoffs as well. So it's kind of up in the air. It still remains to be seen, guys. So, guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, share my videos, and please give me your thoughts about Jason Kidd potentially could get the head coaching job for the New York Knicks. Do you think he should take it, or do you think he should stay on as the assistant head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers? And could somehow down the line he could potentially be the next head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers if somehow things doesn't turn out between Frank Vogel and the Los Angeles Lakers. But it still remains to be seen. So far, he's doing a good job for the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's just playoffs when it comes down to the playoffs coming soon. And somehow if the NBA does, scheduling wise, it's still in effect for the NBA to basically reset the season, is still remains to be seen. And if somehow things do go according to plan when it comes down to the Lakers winning games and having the championship in mind when it comes down to playoff wise, then it still looks to be a very good interest for the Lakers to keep Frank Vogel as the head coach. So it's still up in the air. I just wish the best of luck for Jason Kidd if somehow he does get the head coaching job. But personally, I think he should remain as the assistant head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. But still remains to be seen about that, guys. So, guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers, and guys, stay safe out there. Take it easy.